Hello again, chapter 22. So, I say, picking up a slice of pizza. How about you? Do you have any good stories? She thinks for a moment. Well, I remember that time we had English together sophomore year, and Mrs. Cam got out of the room, so you stood up in front of the class and delivered this whole lecture about symbolism in that old movie Dumb and Dumber. You had the whole class cracking up, but Mrs. Camp wasn't too happy when she came back in. Yeah, I say. Dumb and Dumber, that's like one of my all-time favorite movies. And then there was the time I saw you surfing on the hood of a car and it ran over a curb and you went flying off into hedge. I thought, oh my god, he's dead. But you just jumped right up and got back on the car. Do you remember that? Yes. Vaguely. It's kind of flattering that she remembers these things. But I wasn't looking for more stories about me. What about you? I ask. Don't you have some stories about yourself? She scrunches up her nose. I'm boring. No, you're not. Think about it. You're probably the only person in here who's remaining the neighborhoods at 5 o'clock every morning, even during the school week. I think that's pretty amazing. She smiles. Well, I guess some things have happened on the paper routes that are kind of interesting. There was this one time. I don't know whether I should tell you this or not. You can tell me anything. It's kind of gross, she say. It happened back when I was 12, and I'm like shaking my head over the notion that her mother's had her slaving away in the paper route mines since she was pre-pubescent. Back then, she goes on, my big sister was still helping with the route, so mom would drop me off with a bag and I deliver my houses walking while she and Ambis delivered another section. It wasn't till I was 14 that she let me drive sometimes. So I was walking along, kind of daydreaming, or actually I guess you call it early in the morning dreaming. And all of sudden this man walked out from behind a hedge, totally naked. Jesus, what do you do? I dropped my bag and took off running. I must run 4 blocks before I saw our truck, and I stood in the middle of the street waving for Mom to come down and get me. Did she call the cops on the dude? Actually no. She looks down at her limp pizza. She made me go back and get the bag and throw the rest of my houses. I can't believe it. What a mom. I bet you were pretty scared walking around there with some maniac in the bushes. I was, she said. I kept thinking I heard something sneaking up from behind me. Later, I saw him walking around from the back of another house. But this time he got in his car and drove off. It was a Lexus. I always thought that was odd. Next time that happens, don't let your mom make you go back. Next time, do you think it actually happened again? Well, no, maybe not that exact thing. I'm getting ready to explain some of my theories on the prevalence of the word weird in daily life. But I'm interrupted when some girl I don't remember ever seeing before barges up and say to Amy, "So he finally got here, did he?" Amy head sinks toward her shoulders. "Hi, Crystal." I stand up the way a gentle should and put out my hand. "My name's Sodar Kelly. Glad to meet you." She doesn't take my hand. "I know who you are." Amy goes, "This is Crystal Crittenbrink." And Crystal's like, "We've been friends since 2nd grade." Somehow she makes it sound snotty, like I'm an insignificant insect in the shimmer of their glorious friendship. I know her type. All her life her parents spoiled her and told her she was the most specialist little honey bunny snookums in the world, and she never figured out that the rest of the universe doesn't necessarily share that opinion. The fact is, she's very much a non-beautiful fat girl, whereas Cassidy's voluptuous with grand monumental curves. Crystal Crittenbrink is what you call amorphous, a blob. She has a very little face in the middle of a big pink head. Her mouth alone is about the size of a dime. But the real creature is But the real clincher is she has her dull brown hair done up in the weird ponytail that started at about the crown of her head. You have to know she looks in the mirror every morning and thinks that is the height of style. She's Amy's friend, thought. So I invite her to have a seat, but she just turns to Amy and says, "Hurry up!" The meeting starts in like 5 minutes. "Oh, what kind of meeting is it?" I ask, trying to show some polite interest. But Crystal's like, "French club, you wouldn't know anything about it." So Amy goes, "Why don't you go ahead, Crystal? I can be a little late." "Don't be stupid," says Crystal. The whole meeting wasn't last but like 5 or 10 minutes. Amy looks a little stunk, but you can tell she's used to Crystal calling her stupid. "I guess that's right," she says and turns to me. "Actually, I guess I'm going to have to go. I forgot about the meeting. I'm sorry, but you haven't finished your pizza." She can take it with her. "She can take it with her," says Crystal. "Yes, I guess I can just take it with me. Don't forget about tutoring me for algebra." A smile pops back onto Amy's face, but Crystal goes, "That'd be a waste of time." I just ignore her and keep my gaze fixed on Amy. Why don't you give me your number?" "My number?" "Yes, your phone number." "Like my home phone number?" "Yeah, or your cell phone number." She seems to be having a hard time comprehending the concept. Maybe no guy ever asked for her phone number before. "I have to be my home number." It have to be my home number. I don't have a cell phone." She starts digging through her backpack for a piece of paper and a pen, and Crystal's right at her shoulder going, "Come on, let's go." Amy gets the number dashed off and hands it to me. There's a smiley face at the end. "I call you and we'll set up a time," I say. When are you home?" Who knows," says Crystal as she practically drags Amy away. "You think all she has to do is wait around the house for you to call?" Finished.